Appreciate you joining me today. Hope you're doing well. We are going to be thinking about an account in Saul's life. It's the account when he saves Jabesh Gilead. Today's hymn is the hymn In the Hour of Trial.
In the hour of trial, Jesus plead for me, lest by base denial I depart from thee. When thou seest me waver, with a look recall, nor for fear or favor suffer me to fall.
Appreciate it, Lee. 1 Samuel chapter 11 is where we are. Yesterday we looked at when Israel demanded a king, and Saul's chosen, head and shoulders above Israel. As time goes by, I suppose, verse 1, the Ammonites come up against Jabesh Gilead. And as we read this, there are going to be echoes of the end of the book of Judges. So they come up to Jabesh and they say, make a covenant. All the men of Jabesh said to Nahash, make a covenant with us and we will serve you. That's not good, is it? Verse 2, Nahash the Ammonite answered them, on this condition I will make a covenant with you, that I may put out all your right eyes and bring reproach on all Israel. Then the elders of Jabesh said to him, hold off for 7 days, that we may send messengers to all the territory of Israel, and then if there's no one to save us, we will come out to you. So the messengers came to Gibeah of Saul, and told the news in the hearing of the people, and all the people lifted up their voices and wept. Now there was Saul coming behind the herd from the field, and Saul said, what troubles the people that they weep? And they told him the words of the men of Jabesh. Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Saul, when he heard this news, and his anger was greatly aroused. So he took a yoke of oxen, and cut them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the territory of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying, whoever does not go out with Saul and Samuel to battle, so it shall be done to his oxen. And the fear of the Lord fell on the people, and they came out with one consent. When he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. Okay. As I said, if you're familiar with the end of the book of Judges, there are certain threads throughout this passage. Let me put it like that. Jabesh Gilead, that was the place where when Israel is going to do battle with the Benjamites, because the tribe of Benjamin, they were sheltering those men who had raped and murdered the Levites' concubine. And I'm not exactly doing this in a chronological order. I'm kind of going backwards to it. That's the tribe of Benjamin. And when Israel gathers together to fight against them, Benjamin is finally defeated. And then there are going to be wives chosen for the very few who remain in Benjamin. And they're going to be chosen from, the question was asked, did everybody show up? When the call went out to Israel, did everybody show up to fight? And lo and behold, no one from Jabesh Gilead had showed up. And so that is where the wives are going to come from, and a lot of bloodshed ensued. Now, pardon me, I'm kind of looking at this all over the place. Pardon me for that. That account in Judges, that all begins with the Levite and his servant coming to a place, and the place where they came to in Benjamin, Gibeah. Where was Saul from? Saul's from Gibeah. So the men of Benjamin, as I said, they abused the Levite's concubine. Benjamin will not turn loose from them when Israel says to do so. What the Levite does, pardon me, you remember what the Levite does to the concubine. What the Levite does to the concubine is what Saul does to the oxen here. The Levite cuts her into pieces and sends them throughout Israel and holds them accountable. And they're going to have to clean house. So all that's to say this. There's a thread with Gibeah, a thread with Jabesh Gilead. There's a thread with cutting an object up and sending it throughout Israel. There's so much bloodshed at the end of Judges, it's just hard to read, frankly. But I'll also say this. Here at the end, and Saul is going to save Jabesh Gilead here. The people are going to want to put to death those who did not want Saul to be their king. And Saul says, Saul says, not a man will be put to death, pardon me. That's where there's a difference. Okay, let's just look at this account now. Pardon me for rambling on. I would just suggest, if you're not familiar with the end of the book of Judges, read those 2 or 3 chapters and then come back and read this passage. And you might just notice the similarity. Okay. In the hour of trial, Jesus, plead for me. Jabesh Gilead, they're in trouble. As we make applications and we think about our own hour of trial, what could Jabesh Gilead have said? They could have said, we have sinned. And because they did sin at the end of the book of Judges. They're held accountable for their sins. In the hour of trial, when we come to the Lord, and we own our sin, and we must own our sin, we easily could think, well, we've sinned, why would the Lord want to help us? And we need to remember the Lord came to call sinners to repentance, and that the Lord has compassion and sympathy on those who are weak, on those who are going astray. And we're thankful for that. But we, like Jabesh Gilead, could have said, is anyone going to help us? We've sinned. We have a reputation. And Saul came and helped. Jabesh could have said, we're a long way away. They're up north, and if I remember correctly, they're on the other side of the Jordan River. It's probably why they were attacked, or why these individuals have come against them, I should say. The Lord came a long way to save us, didn't he? Came a long way. And Jabesh Gilead could have easily said, who will help us? We didn't come when Israel called. Who will help us? And the children of Israel came. And it's a wonderful passage when you really think about it. I'll throw in this little bonus material. We know what's going to happen to Saul. Saul with Jonathan, they're going to die. And the Philistines, if I remember correctly, it's the Philistines who kill them. They abuse their bodies and hang them up. And it happens at the end of 1 Samuel. You read about that. And guess who it is who comes and takes the bodies of Saul and his sons? Who is it who takes courage when the Philistines are again taunting Israel? It's Jabesh Gilead. Don't you know it's because they were thankful when Saul came for them that they were going to come for Saul? You can read that account on your own. But when you think about taking courage, those who had proved to be cowardly at the end of Judges took courage at the end of 1 Samuel. And Saul here does a good thing. He takes courage, and in the hour of their trial, he came. He came to help. And so in that, it points us to Jesus, the hour of trial. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good day. Join us tomorrow for another portion of our daily praise.